Vavi.
Welcome to this Halloween edition of the Moore Army podcast. How you all doing out there? Welcome to this Tuesday edition of the podcast. Welcome back since the last time I spoke to you last Thursday. Hope you all had a great weekend. Even though we got some sad news to talk about on the podcast today. But yes, it is Halloween. So before I go any further, I want to say thank you guys for all your questions that I put a thing up on social media yesterday, and a lot of you have been flooding in with your questions about Halloween and everything else. So got loads to talk about on the podcast today. Few subjects at hand, not very many. We'll obviously tell some Halloween, answer some of your Halloween questions and whatever else as well. So got some stuff I want to talk about today. So here we go. So yes, guys, it's Halloween once again. I can't believe this year has been by so bloody quick. I mean, it's 1 minute it's January, and then the next minute it's October. Now that Halloween is here, you know what's next. We're going to continuously hear Christmas music, Christmas trees, all that jazz leading up for the next 2 months now, leading into Christmas time, which is absolutely fucking insane, to be honest. But the years are going by quickly, and yes, we are now upon Halloween once again. So anyway, yes, before I continue any further into the podcast today, thank you for tuning in, first of all. If you are a regular listener to the podcast, or if you are a new listener to the show, hello. If you'd like to get in touch with us here on the Moore Army podcast for any reason whatsoever, whether it be a question, something you'd like to hear me talk about, whatever it is you want to talk to me about, you can get in touch with me by the following methods. But first of all, if you're tuned in today here on Spotify or Apple Music, please add this podcast to your favourites. If you're listening to us on YouTube, don't forget to hit a like on this video here on YouTube, and also subscribe to the Moore Army Podcast YouTube channel. If you're listening to us here on TuneIn Radio, add us to your favourites as well. But if you'd like to get in touch with us, you can by the following methods. You can contact us by email, which is moorearmypodcast@yahoo.com. That's moorearmypodcast@yahoo.com. Also, you can contact me directly by social media, which on Instagram is official Matthew Moore. Also, you can contact me on the old Facebook page, which is for the Moore Army YouTube channel. You can go on there and please drop a like on the Facebook page as well. I would appreciate it. And also, if you want to follow me on TikTok, you can certainly do that as well. Now, I'm not on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I'm not on that platform at all, guys. So any accounts you may see on there or anything like that there, it's not me. Because I have not been on Twitter for nearly 2 years because I just don't like the platform. So there you go. But also, before I continue on the podcast today, I want to give a big shout out for big supporters of this podcast, Food Guru NI. They are on TikTok. They are a food reviewing thing on TikTok. You can check out all their reviews of all foods and outlets all across Northern Ireland and beyond. And you want to follow them on there. It's Food Guru, GURUNI, on TikTok. I would appreciate the support them as well, because they do some great reviews on local businesses, food restaurants, outlets, and more. It's Food Guru NI. Right, let's get into what we're going to talk about today. It's Halloween. It's Halloween, guys. I can't believe it's Halloween once again. Tonight, I've got Mum and Dad coming around tonight for a wee bit of a thing. Now, Lewis and I are off to England tomorrow. As I record this podcast this morning, my son and my dad are still in Liverpool. They were in Liverpool last Sunday lunchtime. They were at the Liverpool game against Nottingham Forest. Lewis is literally home for 24 hours, and then he flies out with me to Manchester because we're going to a football game tomorrow night in Blackpool. So we've got some great vlogs coming up on the channel. Stay tuned for that. We're heading to Blackpool for a couple of days. Lewis and I know the weather's bullshit at the minute. It's raining all over the place, but we're going as guests to Fleetwood Town versus Blackpool tomorrow night. We're looking forward to that. So we're on our travels once again. So Lewis is pretty much a little travel bug at the minute. But go and check out his match day vlog from last Sunday. Lewis Moore, Luis Moore on YouTube. Go and check out his YouTube channel. Now, he put a really good video up last night on his channel, a YouTube short, where he was actually in the streets of Liverpool testing out the general public's football skills, where he was passing the ball and there was people doing skills and stuff like that. He's got an extended video coming out on the channel shortly as well. But please, guys, go and check out all this stuff. He's over there at the minute. He'll be flying home this afternoon with Dad. Mum and Dad are coming around tonight for some little Halloween, maybe have like a wee tea or something like that there with the family. And then tomorrow morning, Lewis and I are off to Blackpool. So some great content coming up on the channel over the next few days. Now, I did say myself personally, I have recorded an announcement that I was supposed to make last week, guys, but this past weekend has been absolutely chaotic with work and or things like that as well. So I have got a thing that I recorded pre-hand, which I'm going to release on the channel probably in the next day or so. Some announcements that I'm going to be making, and some changes to this podcast, some changes to the Moore Army YouTube channel, changes to the Redmen Football Adventures channel, changes to the whole platform of the Moore Army. I know I was supposed to release it the other day, but I've just been so busy with work and whatnot, so please bear with me. I am releasing that. I'd rather release it on YouTube before I release it here on the podcast, so in case you're listening going, well, why don't you just mention it on the podcast? I want to release it on the YouTube channel first of all, guys, so please bear with me. Anyway, yes, guys, before I get into some of the Halloween stuff and some subjects that have been popping up over the last couple of days, Saturday evening, I was sat here at home on Saturday night, and news broke. This is a big one, guys, for the podcast. Hence by the title of the podcast as well. Really sad news broke on Saturday. Well, it was Saturday afternoon, 4 p.m. Around about 4 o'clock. This happened, but obviously we didn't get the news till Saturday night when the news first broke. This is a big loss to the world of acting, the world of comedy, the world of just general. There's a wonderful person. The news broke on Saturday, guys, that unfortunately TV actor, comedian, star, massive star of the hit TV show Friends, Matthew Perry, aka Chandler Bing, unfortunately passed away at the age of 54. Now, I can't believe I'm actually going to be talking about this today on the podcast because, again, it's Matthew Perry. It's Chandler Bing, as he's well known by. Obviously, he's known for other roles in movies and stuff like that and other TV shows out the years and all. But the fact that now I'm actually talking about Matthew Perry being in the past tense and no longer with us anymore is it just this last couple of days I've been trying to wrap my head around it, the fact that he's no longer with us. And it's a big loss to the world, guys. And all I've been seeing on social media the last lot of days is just an outpour, a flood of messages, tribute videos, just the stuff that it's incredible. Now, Brooke grew up watching Friends, and obviously I watched Friends during the 90s, early 2000s, and that was a big part of my life too as well, growing up. Really a big part of my life, actually, because I'll explain more in a minute. But anyway, Brooke was here. Brooke actually wasn't long home from Paul, her boyfriend. You'll probably see it on the YouTube channel and stuff like that. I've talked about it many times. Because on Saturday evening, she goes to his house and she spends time with him and his big sister and her boyfriend. So they always have like time together on a Saturday night, whatever else. So she was literally in the door, not even half an hour, and the news had broke. And I called her upstairs, and she must have literally saw it on her phone. Brooke broke into tears. Brooke's been watching Friends since she was no age. Now, obviously, you know, everybody's watched Friends. Everybody knows the program Friends. A lot of people grew up around Friends. It was just one of them programs that you went to watch whenever you were, you know, looking for something to watch, or you were feeling down, or you were feeling upset, or you had a breakup with someone, or someone passed away, or something like that in your life. It was really changed. And you watch that, and it just changes your whole day. It makes you laugh, it makes you cry, it makes you sad. And that was one of them iconic programs you put up there, and like one of the biggest TV shows ever. And the news broke on Saturday night that Matthew Perry passed away, which was sad and heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, he was obviously one of the main 6 cast members of the program, but Matthew Perry was such a big character in that show, with his, you know, sarcasm, his jokes, his quick wit, even off camera, you know, as part of that. Even a lot of people said who worked with him in that show, he was just so lovable and so caring and so thoughtful, and he was just an amazing person. And even there are people who knew him as well from different other programs and movies that he worked on too as well. And it's just the fact that he's no longer here anymore, and it's really, really strange, the fact that he's not here anymore. But obviously now I'm going to talk about what's happened with him over the years. I mean, he's been battling a lot of demons over the years as well, with alcohol addiction, painkiller addiction, drugs. It's all come out in the last few days that apparently he spent over $9 million to try and get himself clean. He's attended something like, I don't know how many AA meetings. The amount of things that he went through was just insane, the amount of things that he tried to do to get himself clean. But in recent years, before he passed away, he was getting healthy, he was clean, he was getting himself sorted out, he was getting himself back on the right track. And unfortunately, he was found dead in his hot tub on Saturday. And it's a bit eerie though, because the last ever social media post that he put out was him sitting in a hot tub. And that's exactly where he passed away, which is kind of sad because, obviously all the addictions. I mean, some of the things that he's went through, where his colon exploded during recent times as well, and he had to go for was it 14 or 16 stomach operations. He was in a coma for 2 weeks. He was in hospital for 5 months. He openly admitted. I mean, I bought Brooke his book last year when it was released, and he starts off the book by saying, there's an audio version of the book now, which I've listened to some of it over the last few days. And he starts off the book saying that he should be actually dead. And the stuff that guy went through, the addictions, he admitted that he was an alcoholic. He started drinking when he was 14. His addiction then became an addict at 15. And people started to notice the change in him over the years, especially whenever it got to the point where co-star Jennifer Aniston confronted him one time and basically called him out on it. Because he never came to work drunk or pilled, as they like to say, pilled up. Excuse me. But they used to smell alcohol of him, and it was Jennifer Aniston who actually pulled him to one side and said, look, listen, we know you've been drinking, we know you've been doing this and that. And it's come out over the last couple of days. For the first 9 series of that programme, he was battling problems between pills and drink and drugs and everything else you could think of. He openly admitted as well in one of his recent interviews before he passed away that he was taking 55 as Vicodin a day. Like 55, which is absolutely insane. Like 14 stomach operations. Things that guy went through, and he still survived. Now, they've done a part biopsy or autopsy, whatever you can call it, on his body, and they said they're waiting for the rest of the test results to come back. But it's been declared there's been no foul play. But they did find antidepressant medication in his home. No other illegal drugs like cocaine or any of them more type of pills, whatever. He was on the likes of antidepressants and stuff like that there, but still found in his home. But I mean, some things have been popping up over the last few days and things like that. But they're saying there's no foul play in his death. And the thing about it is, though, guys, the fact that some of his struggles, he admitted in his book that, he felt alone and he felt like an outsider in his family. And, he was never married, he never had children. But he did admit in his book as well that he hopefully was hoping to meet one day, to finally meet someone and start a family, which he never did. Now, he's had relationships with people, which he admitted to that he ended himself because of his problems, and he thought he wasn't good enough for people, and he thought he wasn't good enough for other people too as well, for his family and stuff. He felt like an outsider, excuse me, because his mum and dad broke up when he was one, sorry. And he obviously had a great relationship with his mum, stepdad, dad and stepmom. He had a great relationship with them, but he always felt like he was an outsider. So it just goes to show you some of the battles that he struggled over the last, how many decades? Like, he really, really struggled. And the fact that it's now all caught up with him. And there are talks now that it was a cardiac arrest, a possible heart attack. His body's just basically shut down on him. Which is sad, because at the end of the day, when you abuse your body so much, it only takes so much. And give you an example. I mean, a lot of you there probably don't even watch wrestling, but I remember a wrestler who passed away in 2005, who was the same problem for years: pill problems, drug problems, drink problems. And he was clean for the last 6-7 years of his life. He was clean, and then all of a sudden he went into a hotel room one night and he had heart disease. He dropped dead in the hotel room. So it just shows you that your body can only take so much before it decides, right, enough's enough. Now, obviously, over the next week or two or a couple of weeks, we'll obviously hear more into what happened, and we'll know more what happened about it. But the fact that now, I mean, the world has just literally is in shock with this. One of his friends, I was watching a wee clip on YouTube the other day from the American news channel CNN. One of his very close personal friends come onto the channel and said, you know something, he's passed away, but we're not. So I'm not shocked. Well, kind of am shocked, but I'm obviously upset about it. But when you abuse your body that much for so many years, you know, it does catch up on you in the end. You know, I mean, hell, I've went to school with people who I've heard over the years abuse their body with drugs and alcohol, and now they're in the fucking cemetery. It just goes to show you guys that life's so fickle and so fragile, and you just don't know what's going around the corner. Like 1 minute you could be here and you could be having the time of your life and, you know, out all the time with your friends, partying and doing whatever you want. I'll be alright, I'll be fine in the morning, I'll have a wee bit of a hangover, it'll be alright. And then eventually it catches up on you. If you abuse your body for so long. Now, myself personally, I do drink alcohol 1 day a week. Where I have a couple of beers, chill out, that's it. For a long time, guys, for a long time, I would have never went near alcohol at all, full stop. When my kids are very small, very, very rarely you saw me have a drink. Very, very rarely. But in recent times, now my kids are older, I'm starting to get more of a social life back. You know, I don't go out partying, I don't go out clubbing, I don't do drugs, I don't do all that crap. You know, obviously I have a couple of beers with my brother 1 day a week and sort of have a wee bit of a chill out time, whatever else, and that's it. But for the rest of that week, I don't touch nothing, I don't go near anything. Even when I'm in a restaurant, guys, I don't even drink alcohol. I was in a restaurant last Saturday night, and I had my dinner with a pint of water. So, but then you get these people who I know a lot of people out there who still go to the pub religiously, out every Friday and Saturday night down the town with the boys, drinking and partying and all, and that's just like, best luck to you. I knew a guy one time as well, a long time ago, I haven't seen him for a long time, and he was in the pub nearly every day, and this is from a young age, a very young age. And as far as the last I heard about him was about 2 years ago, and he's now living in our part of Northern Ireland, and he's in the pub every day drinking too. And that'll eventually catch up on him. But go back to Matthew Perry. Such a sad thing, you know, and he's such an icon. And the programme Friends is so well known. He did say now in recent interviews before he passed away, he didn't want to be remembered for just Friends. Because in recent years, he's been helping other people with addictions. You know, he said in an interview one time, I was watching yesterday actually, he says, if people come up to me in the street and go, I have a drinking problem, can you help me? He'd be like, yep, no problem. I'll tell you what I had to try and do to try and cope. You know, the amount of things that he went through. I mean, he was even saying when he was recording Friends, I think it was, I can't remember what season it was, he was saying that, that was the year that the season he got married to Monica. He says that he was going to rehab in the morning, and then they were taking a private car for him to take him to the set to record the show. He says the morning he recorded the day he married Monica, or Courtney Cox, the real person, he was in rehab that morning and brought straight to the set to record the programme. So even then, he was going through the problems. Now, in the recent interview, he says that he doesn't watch the programme because when he looks back on it, he looks at all throughout the years. Now, guys, if you go back and watch the programme yourself, you'll see throughout the years his weight changes and fluctuates between really thin to like pudgy to back to being thin to average. To, you know, he just sort of fluctuates. And he says he can tell specifically which time when he watches that what problems he was going through at the time. You know, cocaine addiction, alcohol problems, you know, painkiller problems, you know, all the different problems. Give you an example. I mean, in the episode where he proposes to Monica, to marry her, he was a little bit sort of, not chubby, but sort of like a bit of weight on him. And then when the season returned, they started off back from that same scene where they were all wearing the same clothes and blah, 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 blah. And the significant amount of weight that he lost from that previous episode to that one was fucking frightening, like. Really, really frightening. And that was during his pill problem, which was crazy. You know, and it's so sad, because I mean the world has just literally flooded with comments everywhere you go. Over, even when you're just going on random stuff, flicking through YouTube Reels, Matthew Perry, Facebook, Instagram Reels, Matthew Perry. Everywhere you look, Matthew Perry. Chandler tribute videos. I've seen things as well over the last couple of days. You know, people laying flowers outside his house, laying flowers at the block of apartments where they used to use as a cutscene for the program Friends. People outside there laying flowers. You know, just incredible. Pour out of love for this man. I mean, he was so well loved by so many people. And even the day that he died, I mean, I was reading that what happened to him the day he died. He used to be a tennis player when he was younger, before he got really into acting. Because he was born Canadian. Although I'll out there probably know that or not. But that morning he passed away. He was out playing a thing called pickleball, which I've never played pickleball. I've heard bits and pieces of it. Don't know. I think it's like squash, is it, or something like that? I don't know. But he was playing pickleball for 2 hours. He came back to the house, had a shower. He got into his hot tub, and he sent this personal assistant out to run some errands for him. She came back, found him in the hot tub, face down, before what had been made aware of his cardiac arrest, and he drowned in his hot tub. Which is, what a way to go, like. Absolutely heartbreaking. Absolutely freaking heartbreaking for the guy. And he struggled for so long. I mean, reading into some of his stuff and listening to some of his book on the audio format of it, it's just incredible, some of the stuff that guy went through, and he still survived. You know, and it's so sad. And the world has just literally just opened up. The amount of tributes that man's receiving over the last few days is absolutely insane. So it is insane. But a lot of you guys have been contacting me as well about it, asking me am I going to talk about it on today's program. You know, what's my thoughts on it? What's my views on it? You know, it's just, it's a big loss, guys, for the world. Because I mean, me personally, growing up watching Friends, you know, there's a couple of episodes there kind of remind me of things that I went through. Give you an example. I was telling Brooke this the other day, and it's actually made Brooke upset. I don't know. I didn't even know why I told her, like, but I did. Whenever I was getting married to her mum, we were undecided. When you get married to someone, obviously you have a first dance song, as it's called. And I told Brooke this because Brooke didn't actually know this, but I told her this the other day, and obviously made her a bit upset. So I apologise, Brooke, if you're listening to the podcast. I told her on the other night when we were watching the tributes flowing in on Saturday night. I was saying to her, like, look, remember the episode on Friends where Monica and Chandler got engaged? She was like, oh yeah, I remember that well, blah, 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 blah. I was like, right, okay. I said, remember whenever they all came in afterwards, when he said yes and they all come in and they were all celebrating and all that there, and then they all left, and then the episode ended where Monica and Chandler were dancing? And she says, yes. And I says, well, I'll tell you a story about that. Whenever I was getting married to Brooke and Lewis's mum, we were undecisive of a wedding song. So everybody has their own personal choice, and we were kind of like going, right, okay, well, what about that one? No. And then she'd be like, what do you think? And I went, nah, I don't like that one. So and then she made a suggestion one day that we use the song that Monica and Chandler used at the time that they got engaged, which is Eric Clapton, You Look Wonderful Tonight. And I thought, that's actually a good idea, because me and their mum used to watch Friends all the time, religiously. We had the DVD box sets, we used to watch it on TV, you know, we just watched it all the time. And that was our wedding song. So when I told Brooke the other night about that, she obviously started crying again. I was like, Brooke, seriously, it's fine, darling, don't worry about it. She's like, no, but Daddy, that's Chandler now, he's dead, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. So there's a lot of things in that show that has memories for me too. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. There's just, I mean, I've seen people post stuff on Facebook over the last couple of days as well, saying, you know, whenever they were feeling low, or they broke up with someone, or someone passed away, or whenever they were going through a lot of like bad times, whatever, Friends was always one of them programs that they went to sort of help lift them up and make them smile and laugh. So, but it's been a sad couple of days, guys, just seeing some of the tributes and stuff. And I mean, again, thank you for everybody who's contacted me and have said to me about it, going like, you know, what's your thoughts on it, Matthew? Are you going to speak about it? You know, and yes, I was going to speak about it, of course I was, because I even said to Brooke I'm going to speak about it on Tuesday. Because it's a sad it's sad one to lose, guys. It's a big loss. But overall, I mean, I'll always remember him as funny things that he's done. Not even just Friends, like movies he done. People say they don't like these movies, but the whole 9 yards and the whole 10 yards he done with Bruce Willis, I thought them films were actually really, really funny. His comedy genius of Matthew Perry, his reaction, his sarcasm, the way he delivered jokes were just out of this world. And I'll always watch his stuff, I mean, because he's just so funny. And there's one program that he was part of, I think it was called, I seen it yesterday, Odd Couple, I think it was called. I'm going to look that up and see if I can actually watch that, because I've never actually watched it before. So maybe something me and Brick will watch together. But guys, it just goes to show you that life is so fragile. I mean, you think about the amount of people we've lost over the last year or so. You know, and even not even celebrities, people who I've known in my life have passed away too. Life's too short, guys. I mean, coming up here is my daughter's 18th birthday. Then the next day is the 7th anniversary of my best friend passing away. And he passed away at a very young age, in his 30s. You know what I mean? So many people who've been in my life, part of my life recently, have passed away. And it's just like, fucking hell, man. Like, 1 minute they're here and the next minute they're not. And that makes me want to live my life more and spend more time with my kids and make more memories from my life, because at the end of the day, life is too short. You're not here for a long time. You're not here for a long time. You're here for a good time. So, but rest in peace, Matthew Perry. And yeah, we'll never forget him. And obviously, people were saying about, you know, when's the Friends cast going to bring out a statement and stuff. Last I heard, they were working on a joint statement, which I think has actually come out now, and they're all shocked and saddened. But obviously, you will see over the next few days and weeks, you'll see tributes coming out from all the cast of what actually how they're feeling about Matthew Perry passing away. So sad. But anyway, guys, moving on. Yeah, as I said at the start of this podcast today, it's Halloween. Halloween. Happy Halloween. So, as I said, I'm not doing very much of this Halloween myself. I will be having a quiet one this night, because as I said, I'm going away tomorrow with Lewis. But obviously, a lot of you have been asking me questions about Halloween and stuff like that there, about Halloween memories and Halloween stuff like that there. Guys, to be quite honest with you, I mean, even when I was a kid and stuff growing up, I mean, obviously, at the very start, it was great with Halloween. You used to go out and do Halloween, as it's called here in Northern Ireland, it's called trick-or-treating, but in Northern Ireland, it's called Halloween rhyming, where you go to someone's door, knock the door, and sing songs. And but back in my day, you used to get the absolute biggest tits going out and, like, sticking a fucking black bin liner over the top of themselves and a stupid wee plastic 50p mask and going up to someone's door and looking for some sweets or money, you know. Obviously, some of the outfits nowadays you get for kids for Halloween rhyming or trick-or-treating, whatever you want to call it, is just phenomenal. I mean, I've had a couple of calls here the last few days as well. And it's so funny because, see, at the minute, guys, I have a camera at the front of my house, a Ring doorbell camera, and every parts of the year, Ring give you these certain, like, things you can put on the wee speaker to them. Like Christmas time, you get Santa going, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, and loads of wee music and all playing. At the minute, it's all, like, Halloween stuff. And I was upstairs the other night, and I don't know what I was doing, and the doorbell went, and the next minute I heard that going outside, and I checked my doorbell, the camera, I have the app on my phone, and it's a couple of wee trick-or-treaters, and the Halloween thing come on, and it scared the absolute crap out of the kids. They were like, oh my God, there's Halloween stuff. What? That scared me. It was like the wee witch and all going, Happy Halloween, and all this here, and all the creepy music and all playing. And when I opened the door, the wee kid looked at me and went, Mister, that thing in your wall scared the crap out of me. And I was like, it's for Halloween. That's the whole point of it. It's supposed to scare you. But yeah, I mean, I've got some good Halloween memories. Not really great Halloween memories either, like, but as a kid growing up, I mean, obviously done Halloween or trick-or-treating for a wee while, and then I just didn't bother anymore. When the kids were smaller, obviously, I used to take them out doing trick-or-treating or Halloween rhyming. I'll just call it trick-or-treating to keep everybody happy. You know, as time has obviously went on, the kids have got older and stuff like that there, but it's more now. It's again, like, Halloween's kind of like fucking Christmas. It's all commercialised in a way. in my opinion. Because, I mean, you get the Halloween stuff coming out, God, when? August? You know, and then the Christmas stuff's coming out in, like, September. August, September, Christmas stuff. It's all commercialised now, but I've had a reasonable... I don't really have that many crazy Halloween memories, to be quite honest. But it was just one of them holidays where, like, when I was growing up, it was like, yes, I get a week off school, I can watch football, I can chill out with my mates, I can go out and play football, nothing to worry about, no school to go to. You know, I obviously remember, like, Halloween when I was in school, and we were obviously getting ready for it and decorating the classrooms in school, and then obviously mum and dad used to take us out when we were smaller to do a bit of trick-or-treating and whatever else. So, but I mean, it's Halloween this year. I can't believe it's Halloween again, guys. I've got some questions that you were asking me about Halloween, which I'm going to answer in the questions section of the podcast today. But yeah, it's Halloween. I can't believe it. And the next minute, you know, now you're going to blink your eyes and it's going to be Christmas. The Christmas trees will be going up soon. So there will be, and everybody will be getting ready for Christmas, and everybody will be all excited, and everybody will be all like, oh, it's Christmas time, yeah. Well, Christmas time. The magic's gone from my house now because my kids are older. So they are, but we still have a good Christmas, of course, like, which is all good. So, but anyway, I'll get into some of your Halloween questions and whatnot shortly, but I've got some things here I want to talk about on the podcast today, if I can find what I actually put down. It's been one of those bloody days today. There we go. Now, you guys keep asking me all the time about this war going on, and I said this last week, guys, I'm not going to talk about it, so I'm not, because at the end of the day, some of it's quite disturbing for me as well to listen to, and I could talk about it all day, and I could get into politics and religions and all that there, and I'm not going to, because I'll probably say the wrong thing, and someone will get fucking triggered by it, and they'll be contacting me and saying, oh, you don't know what they're talking about, you don't know that. I can't be arsed with all that drama. So please, guys, stop emailing about this war. I'm not going to talk about it because at the end of the day, I'm just not getting into it. I just don't want to. Anything to do with negativity like war and things like that. I know obviously it's a horrible thing going on at the minute, and thousands of people have died, including young babies and all. It's just, I don't want to talk about it because some of it is quite disturbing and quite upsetting to talk about. I mean, I've seen some things the last couple of days popping up on social media too, and I'm just like, that's just fucking wrong. Like, it's just these wars are getting worse and worse and worse, so it's crazy. Thing I wanted to bring up, I think I've talked about this before in the podcast, I'm not honestly sure, but it's come out this morning. There's been a lot of things over the last lot of months, year or so get there, about the whole Madeleine McCann investigation. Now, we all know the whole story about Madeleine McCann. She disappeared back in 2007. Everybody knows all about the story, but some stuff broke this morning saying they've made a critical discovery at a Portuguese reservoir. Now, whether this is going to lead down the road, now we've had these over the years, over the last, how many years has it been? You know, they've had trails for this and trails for that, and you know, maybe found her here. Is she still alive? Is she not alive? Blah, blah, blah. It's just come out today that apparently they've made a critical discovery at a Portuguese reservoir. Now, I'm hoping and praying that she is found eventually, whether she be, obviously she's more likely dead by now, to be quite honest, and the family get to lay the child to rest properly. But you know, over the years, we've had all these rumours and stories and all these things, you know, that was the family involved in it? Were they not involved in it? What happened? Why were they so responsible to leave the child in the room on her own? All this stuff's been coming out over the last couple of years, but it's just this story has broke this morning, and it seems to be pretty serious. It's come out here saying, German prosecutors investigating the Madeleine McCann case has revealed that police are searching for evidence have found a major discovery at a reservoir in Portugal. Forensic teams descended on the Saves Reservoir in southern Portugal in May this year to search for any evidence in case of missing Madeleine. They said now they have in recent days found a bigger discovery in the Portuguese reservoir, and it's an ongoing case. Madeleine McCann's been gone since May the 3rd, 2007. I mean, that's fucking insane. I can't believe that's been 16 years? She's gone. I remember that like it was yesterday. 16. You wouldn't believe it's been that long. But now they said they found the significant discovery at this, and they're trying to see if this leads to any trail of maybe possibly finding exactly where she is, which is, I'm hoping, you know, for the child's memory and stuff, if she is no longer with us, which possibly she probably is dead by now, that they find her and bring her remains back and give the child a proper burial or a service, whatever. You know, but it's such a crazy thing. I mean, imagine being in a situation where your child's kidnapped and taken away, or your child goes missing like that. I mean, that would break my fucking heart. I mean, you know, I've spent the last 2 or 3 days here on my own without kids. I think Brooke's staying with mum at the minute. For the last couple of days, my dad and Lewis are away to Liverpool, and I've been on my own for the last couple of days. And honestly, it's been great to obviously have that wee time to myself, but I'm missing the kids, if you know what I mean. Because of obviously my situation with Brooke and Lewis, being on my own with the two of them and all that there, and we've obviously been so close together and we're always together and stuff. But when they're not here, it's like, it's crazy. So it is. I know obviously at the minute they're the wee sort of teenagers and sometimes they irritate the piss out of me, like, to be honest. But if anything ever happened to them, fuck me. That would break my heart. And that's always been a biggest fear of mine as a parent. Probably most parents are the same. You know, if your child dies before you, that would be a fucking killer for me. So it would be. And, you know, things like the Madeleine McCann story, and you hear about all these other ones about children being taken away and all these different stories you hear in the news and all the different things you hear about and all there. It's like, it's crazy. Absolutely bonkers mad. But I always hoped with this young lady being found, and obviously she is probably dead now. Like, in my opinion, she probably more likely is dead. But then you hear all these rumors. Oh, she's alive still, and she's not the same person, and she was taken away, and she's, you know, all these theories of what happened and all. At the end of the day, if she obviously is dead and her remains is found eventually, give the child a proper burial or whatever and send her off properly, because she more deserves that than anything else, to be quite honest. But I'll keep an eye on it over the next few weeks to see exactly what's going on. Read this morning, guys. Listen to this here. This is a crazy one I heard this morning. French police shoot woman wearing Islamic veil who threatens to blow herself up at a Paris train station. What the why? Listen to this here. A woman has been shot by the police after threatening to blow herself up by screaming the words Allah Akbar while wearing an Islamic veil in Paris. The victim was hit with at least one bullet during the rush hour in Paris. Officers managed to isolate the woman at the station, which led to the standoff. Earlier this month, Prime Minister put the country on its highest state of counter-terrorism alert after an assassin stabbed a school teacher and has put the thing on high alert, put the country on high alert, especially the main city of Paris. But this woman apparently started screaming Allah Akbar, whatever that word is, and she was shouting and screaming, and apparently she was shot dead. The world's going I keep talking about this every week. The world's going fucking mad. Like, the world is just going bonkers. Like, people just randomly killing each other. I mean, I saw a video the other day. Who was it? Where did I see it? Was it on Instagram, I think it was? Of this older child, maybe 16, 17. And this other wee small child, probably about 13, 14, sitting on the bus. And the way she was speaking to this child, like 3 or 4 years younger than her, and she kept bringing race into it, and she kept telling the child, don't you speak, who the fuck do you think you're talking to, don't you speak. And she punched this child and put a big knot on the top of his head. Like a wee boy. And this was a big tall girl, of colour, of course. And she was screaming and shouting and all, don't you disrespect me and my race and all, blah, 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 blah. And she fucking punched it. And the child wasn't even saying nothing. And then this other girl turned around and says, like, probably around about the same age, oh, that's disgusting, you shouldn't be doing that. And she, don't you speak to me, do you know who I am? I'm your superior. And punched the wee girl in the face too. I'm sorry. This child was identified as a 16 or 17-year-old. Anybody punches my child like that, I wouldn't give a shit. I would prosecute that wee fucker for that. I would prosecute that child to the highest degree and teach her a lesson. She was basically walking around about. Now, she was quite tall, big, tall girl, and she was quite, broad and stuff. And this wee boy was like half her fucking size. And this is what they're doing. I see all these videos floating around social media at the minute like with children and young adults and all this here. And if you say something back to them, you're in the wrong, and you can't say nothing back because you could be classed as a bully or a racist or whatever it is. When I saw that video the other day, and the knot on the top of that child's head, and apparently the parents are now prosecuting this 17-year-old, whatever it is, and I, well within rights, I would do exactly the fucking same. You know, oh my God. I mean, I've been through personal stuff where I've had to prosecute younger ones for bullying my kids because of our online YouTube bullying. And it's true. I've prosecuted, and I used to get all these wee fucking numpties coming in all the time. You don't know anything. You're full of shit, Matthew. You're a liar. You don't prosecute people. Really? Let's go. I've even had grown adults coming in. I've had to prosecute adults because of their bad behaviour. Like, coming in with comments and saying things like that, that's fine. But then when they get to the point where they're actually targeting your home and targeting you personally and trying to ruin you publicly as well, that's definition of character. That's slander. That's harassment. Now, we don't obviously get as much bullying now as what we used to, because basically we were sending a message out to people saying, at the very start, we wouldn't have said nothing. See now, I couldn't give a shit. Anybody hits my child like that, I'm sorry, I'm going to prosecute that other person. I just watched that video the other day, and it was so annoying to watch. And the poor child was sitting there on the bus, and the knot on top of that child's head, where that little girl, I wouldn't even say little girl, she's probably about 6 foot tall, and she was identified as a 17 coming 18-year-old, and then she turned to the other child and goes, I am your superior. What the fuck? I was just like, and then you see all these videos all the time that this happening in schools and in colleges and out in the street, you know, all these, and then even in workplaces too. You know, it's unbelievable the amount of stuff that you see now. It's crazy. Absolutely. I saw a video the other day, I was just like, if that was my son, I would have that wee bitch in front of a judge and I would nail her to the wall. And I wouldn't care what her parents said, and I would literally nail her to the wall, and I wouldn't care what they said back to me. And, oh, you do it because of this and because of a religion and all that. And they say, no. Your child has just literally smacked my son for absolutely, and he has to bow down to her, basically. Kiss my ass. I'll see you in court. It's just when I saw that video the other day, guys, it really made my piss boil. And it was just like, I even shared it to my friend, and he wrote back to me saying, fuck me, mate. See, if that was my child, I'd have her fucking hole in front of a judge. I'd have her nailed to the wall. He says, these ones now are just getting, the bullying's getting horrendous now. Absolutely fucking horrendous. But, again, I just saw it the other day, and it really sort of like, ugh, I don't know. Some of you guys have been in contact with me over the last 48 hours, I've noticed as well, asking me for my opinion on the COVID inquiry going on at the minute in England. All this investigation going on and trying to figure out, you know, what was going on at the time during the lockdowns. Was the lockdowns effective and all this nonsense? Today, I know for a fact your man, is it Dominic Cummings, I think it is on the stand today talking. Obviously you all know my opinion on it all. I all think they were all full of fucking shit, a lot of them, and half the lockdown. I was reading something yesterday on my laptop, but they were turning around saying that they should have done what Sweden done during the lockdowns. I was saying that for fucking years. Sweden wouldn't even consider it as a lockdown. And they ended up far superior, better off than what we did. We were locked up like dogs in the street. We were locked up like animals. And I'm tired of talking about COVID on the podcast here, but just the last couple of days since this COVID inquiry thing started again, all you guys have been saying, Matthew, what do you think of the COVID inquiry? Do you think they're telling lies? Do you think they're bullshit? And blah, 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 blah. Let's see how it turns out over the next couple of days. But listen, I've been calling this COVID inquiry for years. I remember sitting here one night with, who was with at the time? I think it was Sam at the time. I turned and says, see, when this is all over, it'll all come out in the end, the shit will hit the fan, they'll all be sitting in front of a court, and they'll all be investigated. All them politicians and all that crap that they were putting out for us. Do you really think so? Yes, it's happening. I should be a fucking psychic. You know, like Mystic Meg, the wee woman that used to tell the future with her crystal ball back in the day. You know, they call me Septic Peg. But enough of that. I just can't. When I see stuff like that now, it's just negative, mate. Switch it off. But anyway, let's move into some of your questions today. So I know a lot of you have been in touch with me over the last couple of days and sort of saying to me, you know, Matthew, I mean, obviously it's Halloween and stuff like that. I'll put a wee thing out in social media last night. I'm just trying to get my pages open here when I'm talking to you. Somebody's were saying to me last night, I put some up last night saying, asking me for some questions and stuff, and a lot of these have responded to me. So I'm going to start with the Facebook page today, because I put a wee thing out there yesterday. So I'll do a couple on Facebook first of all, guys, and then I'll get into some of the Instagram and the emails as well. So don't forget, if you want to contact me in future episodes, you can by the email moorarmypodcast@yahoo.com. I actually forgot to mention the website today as well. See what I mean? One of those days, guys. moorarmy.co.uk. It's the website. Anyway, moving on. Going on to the Facebook page now. There's only been actually 2 public comments, which is a bit strange because I normally get a lot more messages than anything else here saying. One here from a regular listener who don't recognise the name, Kieran, says, I don't even think it's more of a Halloween question, to be honest with you. It just says, what's been your best ever holiday abroad? I've never been to a hot climate until now. I'm currently loving Tenerife right now. I'll now shut up for a bit. My favourite hot location or favourite place abroad? God, I've been to so many places in the States. Florida was a great place. Now, I must say, though, a family holiday I did go on back in 2011. When I was still married to Brooke and Lewis's mum, we all went on holiday with my cousin and his wife, and at the time they only had 2 kids, now they got 4. That was a great holiday for me personally, because obviously it was nice weather and spend time with the kids. We had a lovely pool outside the hotel. The hotel was beautiful. We had great food, and it was a great holiday. Been to a lot of places in America. Give you an example, a couple. Chicago, lovely place. Florida was a lovely place. Detroit's a nice place too as well. New York. I was in France and Belgium when I was a kid, like 14, 15 for a school trip. I remember vaguely bits and pieces of it, but not very much. That was back in the mid-90s, early mid-90s. But now I'm at a point now where I want to make more memories. I want to go abroad more, and I want to see more of the world, especially in certain states in America. That's when I was there before, and I really got to see very much of. So I want to go back and obviously see it properly this time. It's just there's a lot of places I want to go to. Spain was beautiful too as well. Got to go to Barcelona too as well while I was there, and done a tour of the stadium and all. I actually put the video of it up on my YouTube channel a couple of years ago. So yeah. Hope you're enjoying your holiday there, Kieran, in Tenerife, while we were sitting here in the shitty rain and wet wind and rain. So, thanks for your question. I do appreciate it. William Montgomery here on Facebook says, "Hi Matthew, what's your favourite Championship, League 1 and League 2 team and why?" Mine's Ipswich, Peterborough and Notts County. Okay, here we go. A football question I haven't had for a while. Championship team in the Championship. Right now in the Championship. I like the likes of Southampton and Leicester and some teams like that. League 1. You're asking, it's a bit of a strange one. I'm actually going to a game tomorrow night. Is it League 1 or League 2? League 1. Blackpool and Fleetwood. We're going down tomorrow night, local derby. League 2 would be AFC Wimbledon. Always got to be soft spot for Wimbledon. Always did back in the day. And then obviously they were changed and liquidated and then restarted up again. And then there was MK Dons and then there's AFC Wimbledon. And their new wee stadium, they opened up as well, which is a beautiful little wee stadium. They opened up, which finally Wimbledon got their own wee ground. Because for a long time, for me personally, growing up, Wimbledon always played at Selhurst Park and shared with Crystal Palace. And that was always a memory of mine. And then when they went out of business and then reformed again as MK Dons, and then obviously AFC Wimbledon. Now Wimbledon have their own wee stadium, which is a beautiful wee stadium. Is it MK Arena or something, or MK? No, not MK, it's the MK Dons I'm thinking of. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I'd love to visit that wee place in London. I really, really would. But that will probably be sort of the gist of that there. But I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow night between Fleetwood and Blackpool. So, oh yeah, that's right. The podcast on Thursday could be emanating from Blackpool. And with Lewis as well. So we'll have to wait and see about that. One here that answered the wee Facebook story that I put up saying, "Hey Matthew, you always talk about every week you have a beer on Thursdays. Can I ask you what's your favourite beer of choice? Also, will you be having a beer over Halloween?" And that is from Scott. Well, Scott, my favourite beer of choice at the minute would probably either be Budweiser or I like Rockshore beer. It's not too bad. But recently, I've had a wee touch for Abbott's Ale. Now, you're probably thinking, what the fuck's Abbott's Ale? When I was in Blackpool 2 years ago, I seen it behind the bar at Witherspoons. I took the kids in for some lunch, and I was like, is that any good? And he went, it was like £1.45 or £1.50 a pint. And I thought, I mean, you just want to be sample? I was like, okay. Beautiful. Now, I'm not a big ale drinker. Now, in recent years, I've tried the likes of Newcastle Brown Ale, which is lovely when it's ice cold, by the way, guys. Beautiful. So I thought, right, okay, I was in Blackpool last summer, and I thought, right, I'm going to have a pint. Let's try this Abbott's Ale. Ice cold. Beautiful. So a couple of months ago, or I'd say about 2 or 3 months ago, I bought a few bottles of it in Tesco, stuck it in the fridge, lifted it out, had a few with Tony one night. Beautiful. Abbott's Ale. Such a lovely, cool, refreshing drink. But for beers, would be Budweiser, Bud Light, Rockshore. I used to drink Carlsberg when I was younger. Before I got married and all, we used to have a pint and all after I finished work and stuff when I was younger, and I used to have like maybe a Carlsberg or something, but that would be probably around about what I would have. So thank you for your message, Scott. I appreciate it. Happy Halloween. So let's do one more Facebook one before I move on here today. Right, let's have a look and see. Hi Matthew, this actually came in yesterday. This is from Brendan saying, hi Matthew, just wanted to let you know about our horrible weather down here. What's it like for you up in the north? Down here in Dublin, the weather is absolutely horrendous. Non-stop floods and everything. It's crazy. What's the weather like for you up in the north? Hope everybody up there is safe and well. We're trying to avoid all floods down here as possible. Well, can be honest with you, it actually hasn't been too bad up here. It has been raining, but not as bad as what they've been saying it's going to be. It isn't actually too bad, to be quite honest. I was actually seeing this morning, funny enough, when I was on my laptop this morning, I've seen a lot of stuff going on about flooding the rivers in Dublin city centre, especially being so high with all the heavy rain and stuff. So I'm hoping that it's not down there. And I've heard around the Newry area, people have been told to stay away from the Newry area because of the heavy rain, which is crazy. A few friends of mine, I know from Castledurg, have been putting stuff up about their football stadium being down there flooded, which is just crazy. Over in mainland, to be honest with you guys, they're saying like today it was supposed to be like a full-scale fucking storm out here today. Like trees ripped out of the ground, heavy winds and rain everywhere. And I look out my window today here, and it's not even freaking raining. But here's hoping the storm decides to detour and disappear, because we got a fucking flight in the morning to Manchester. So I'm hoping it just stays away. But yeah, I hope you're all okay down there in Southern Ireland, and I hope you guys are safe and well, and I hope everybody down there is fine, because some of the rain down there they've been getting the last few days is absolutely friggin' horrendous, so it is. But anyway, let's move into Instagram. Let's have a look here and see now. Right, here we go. Regular listener, as always. Ram McCauley. This guy messages me every week. God love me. He messages me every week. He's a regular. I'll have to mention him today. He says, "Hi Matthew, question for the Halloween podcast. What were some Halloween games you used to play as a kid?" The usual, Dunking for Apples, just all the usual Halloween games that we did. But always one that stuck in my memory was Dunking for Apples. Never understood why people done that, but we used to do it anyway when we were kids. But there you go. So Ryan, thank you once again, my friend. You are in touch with me as always every single week. Right, let's get another one here from Instagram, which is official Matthew Moore, by the way. You can contact me on there as well. Charles has messaged me here on Instagram saying, "Happy Halloween, Matthew. Can I bring up a subject that some people might relate to?" Certainly. Halloween time for me really pisses me off. Sorry to be blunt, but it really does piss me off. People shooting fireworks weeks before Halloween really, really upsets my animals. My dogs, my cats go absolutely insane. Shit scared. He uses that phrase, shit scared, by the way. Shit scared of all this fireworks going on. Why can't people just shoot their fireworks on Halloween night as normal? They're shooting them for weeks upon weeks upon weeks leading up to it, and it's scaring animals. What's your thoughts on this? Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, you do. When I was growing up as a kid, you maybe heard maybe once in a blue moon firework, maybe a week or two before Halloween. Now you're hearing it more regularly. And it's crazy. I know a lot of animal owners who don't like it, and they are, as you say, pissed off with it. because obviously, especially dogs, it scares dogs, and dogs go mad because of the noise and the sounds and whatever else. But yeah, I mean, it does get a little bit annoying whenever you're trying to like do things and they're shooting fireworks off weeks before it, and you're thinking to yourself, Halloween's not for a couple of weeks. You know, back in the day, it was obviously this Halloween night. You had the fireworks displays and stuff like that. There, people are having like obviously fireworks displays, depending on obviously what day Halloween falls on. Like Halloween falls on a Tuesday this year, so people will be having their Halloween parties on Fridays and Saturday nights before it. Now, if Halloween falls at the weekend, which is even better because it's all one day, but people are having like parties and all. Like for example, last weekend, I heard a lot of fireworks going off at the weekend because it was obviously Halloween weekend and people were going to parties and nightclubs and whatever else because of it all. But when it comes to the animals, yes, I do obviously sympathise with you, Charles, because especially dogs, it drives dogs insane. Now, there's a lot of dogs it doesn't bother. My mum and dad's dog, Sheila, it doesn't bother her. But there is dogs out there it does affect with them, and they do get scared, and they obviously shit themselves, and they run off and hide under chairs and hide under tables and whatever else. So, but yeah, I can't relate with you. But not even me as a dog owner. It's fucking annoying when they're constantly shooting fireworks at the start of in September and all too, and you're going, like, Halloween's not until like fucking the end of October. Why are you shooting fireworks now? But that's just people the way they are sometimes. It's a strange one, so it is. But I hope your dogs are okay, and I'm sure you'll be glad whenever Halloween's over. I'm sure you'll be glad, especially your wee doggies as well, and your cats. Right, I've one here from, let's have a look. Right, one here from Thomas. And then it says Tommy in brackets around him, saying Thomas and Tommy. Happy Halloween, Matthew. Just wanted to see if you could give a shout out to myself and my partner, Claire, who will be celebrating our 8th anniversary of being together next month. We met at a Halloween party and we dated a few weeks after. We've been together for the last 8 years and I want to see if you could possibly give us a wee shout out. Well, there you go. Happy anniversary. He's met at a Halloween party. Here, let me know what you were dressed up as. So I don't even know why you're married or not. Like, are you married or are you still dating or what's the situation? Yeah. Happy anniversary to both of you. Hope you have a great anniversary. Make sure you spoil her rotten and take her out for dinner or something and spoil her rotten. Thank you for your message. Again, thank you so much. Right, let's do one more on Instagram before we go into the emails. Right, here we go. Right, Jessica has wrote me a message on Instagram. Hello, Jessica. Happy Halloween. Says, hi, Matthew. Happy Halloween. How are you today? Hope you're keeping well. Hope you and your family are all doing good. Any favourite Halloween parties you've ever been to or any favourite Halloween party memories? Okay. Well, thank you for that. Halloween parties? I had a good one 2 years ago, where we all were all decided to dress up. There was myself, Mom, Dad, Brooke, Lewis, Sandra at the time. She was here too. Who else was here? Was her daughter here? I can't even remember. We were all dressed up. I think Tony came, but he wasn't dressed as far as I remember. Dad was dressed as a beer bottle. I know, a beer bottle outfit. Like, what the fuck? Mum was dressed as a witch. I was dressed as Uncle Fester, fittingly. Sandra was dressed as your woman, the wife from the Addams family. So I was Uncle Fester and she was the wife. Brooke and Lewis were dressed up as well in their Halloween outfits. I also had a Halloween party a few years ago in my early vlogging days where Tony's friend Kenny, who you've seen once or twice pop up in my vlogs over the years, he came dressed as a killer clown with a big proper machete sword. And he actually came over my back fence and ran down the garden. And Brooke saw him coming down the garden. And Brooke literally pissed her knickers with fear. Like, she shit her pants. His outfit was incredible. Tony was dressed as a priest that night. Dad was dressed up as some, like, wolf thing with all scars over his face. Mum, again, was dressed as an evil witch. And her sister was here. And her partner at the time was here too as well. That was a good night. So it was. That was back in, what, 2016, 17 maybe? Halloween parties as a kid, it's very hard to try and remember anything, like, to be quite honest with you. There's obviously a few, obviously with cousins and family and friends, and obviously ones with the kids when they were smaller and all too as well. Strange one. I can't really remember far back, to be honest. But recent parties in recent years, yeah, that would be sort of ones that would stand out for me. I actually didn't even vlog that one from 2 years ago. We used to have because Dad was dressed as a beer bottle. It was fucking awesome. A giant beer bottle. You used to go onto my Instagram, you'll find the pictures. It's fucking hilarious. Like, unbelievable. Right, let's get into one more. I'll do one more on Instagram, then I'll go to the emails. Here we go. Where are we? Right. Scroll. Right. One from Connor. Connor says, "Hi Matthew. Happy Halloween. Can I ask you what's your favourite memories with your kids at Halloween? I have 2 small children aged 5 and 7, and Halloween for them is awesome. We'll be having a small party with our family. We will also be having trick-or-treating and more. What is your favourite memories of your kids at Halloween?" Well, let me think. Funny enough, you actually mentioned that. I was actually watching a video on my own personal Facebook from a couple of years ago. I actually managed to get my hands on a Scream mask. And Brooke and Liz were sitting up in Liz's bedroom. They were very, very small at the time. This was around about 2016, maybe. And they were sitting playing Minecraft in Lewis's room, and I jumped into the room behind the door and scared the crap out of him with a Scream mask on. Memories for the kiddies, my goodness, so many. Like, obviously, them dressing up in their outfits for Halloween, going to wee Halloween parties and Halloween discos at their school, and just all wee memories I have with them. With loads of photographs and all of them as well when they were smaller, and just so many great memories with them. Recent times was that time with the Scream mask. They shit themselves. They screamed. But no, I've had a lot of great memories with the kids over the years. I can't specifically point at one specifically, but I've obviously had some really good memories with the kids over the years for Halloween. It's been fun. So it has, really, really is fun. Thank you for your question. Let's get into some of the emails. You want to contact me in the future with email, guys, you know how to do it. MooreArmyPodcast@yahoo.com. Right, I've one here, first of all, from Marianne. Marianne, where are you from? You don't say. Hello, Marianne. Happy Halloween. Hey, Matthew. Been watching your videos for quite a while now and listening to some of your podcasts, and I've noticed that your daughter has an obsession with ducks. Fuck, you tell me. So is my head on. Do you know she's actually got Christmas ducks ready to put round the Christmas tree? Christmas ducks? Don't even get me started. Would you ever consider getting your daughter a duck as a pet? Am I reading this right? A duck as a pet? I'll tell you more about this in a second. I think it'd be good fun and great content for your YouTube channel, especially if you had a duck. What do you think about this? Right, here we go. When I tell Brooke you've sent me this email, fuck me. I was actually winding up Brooke about 2 weeks ago about her 18th birthday coming up. I says, what would you like for your birthday? I don't know, Daddy. Well, how about a duck? And she went, oh, I'd love a duck, Daddy. And I'm going, where for the love of Pete am I going to put a duck? Where am I going to put a duck in my house? Now, fair dues. Now, hold on here. Fair dues. There's a guy... I see all these videos she sends me all the time on Instagram, and all these videos she sends me all the time about people having ducks in their house and all that there. And I know people who have farms who have their ducks in their house. Now, not them all, but certain ones. And there's a guy I've actually started watching on YouTube over the last couple of weeks and months, because Brooke obviously found his videos and stuff. A guy from New York has a duck called Wrinkles. And this guy, literally, the duck lives with him. This duck goes everywhere with him. Watch the video he put up about a week or two ago where he was in Walmart in New York and he was walking around doing his shopping and the duck was with him. The duck was walking beside him. His own wee shoes and all, and people were stopping and taking pictures and hugging the duck and stroking the duck and feeding the duck. And I watched a couple of his other videos where this duck actually did and completed the New York Marathon. Yeah, I know. What the fuck? A duck? So basically, I when I seen all this, I typed into Google one day, can you have a duck as a pet? Most people are saying it's not recommended, but then there's ways you can get around it where you can have their wings clipped where they don't fly away, and you can do certain things as long as you keep feeding them water. You have a wee pond maybe in your back garden for it to swim in. You know, all these wee different things you can do. And I showed this to Brooke, and Brooke was like, Daddy, can we get a duck? And I just went, are you for fucking real? Could you imagine us having a duck? Taking the duck out shopping with us. Could you imagine me walking down the aisles of Tesco's or whatever, and people are flocking over to you going, can I get a picture with your duck? Can I get a hug with your duck? Can I do this with your duck? And I'm going, fuck me, man. We would be harassed Then Brooke said to me, Daddy, think of the views you'd get on YouTube with ducks and all the people wanting to see he or she all the time. And I'm going, yeah, but look at the work you got to put in to look after the fucking thing. It's worse than having a dog or a cat. You know what I mean? And she's just obsessed with ducks. And I would agree with you there. She is obsessed with them. But to get her one as a pet, I said to her, Brooke, when you move out in your own house, you can have as many fucking ducks as you want. Not that I have anything against ducks, because I love ducks. I think they're cute. And I think it's hilarious the way they walk and all, the way they waddle. It's so funny. I used to take the piss out of their mum all the time whenever she was pregnant with both of them. I used to say she waddled like a duck because she was so big. When she was pregnant, she waddled like a duck. But yeah, getting Brooke a duck could you imagine, like, sitting here and there's a duck beside you? Like, of all animals, a fucking duck? No. But Brooke's like, oh, but Daddy, I love ducks. Well, you can have ducks in your room, you can have ducks on your walls, you can have... Like, Brooke has a phone cover that it's a duck with a camera phone in its hand taking a photo inside a duck of inside of a duck and inside of a duck. It's weird. She's obsessed with ducks. She loves her ducks. So she does. But to have one in my house, somehow, I don't think so. If I lived on a farm or something, different story. But could you imagine, like, me having a duck? Now, a lot of you are going to listen to this now and probably right back to me today after I put this out, and you're going to say, oh, get a duck for your YouTube channel, that'd be class, and people want to know you more. I was even winding her up saying, could you imagine never me and Lewis go watch the ice hockey games, the Belfast Giants games? And the fucking duck goes with us and sits there. And she was like, but Daddy, you could get it like a wee Giants hockey shirt and all, and it could sit beside you and all. And I'm going, I wouldn't even get a chance to see the game. People would be flocking around me to get pictures with it and talk to it and feed it, and I wouldn't get a chance to see the flipping game. And she'd be like, well, that's true. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Could you imagine me taking the fucking duck to football on the Saturday and sitting beside me and trying to film the game and all you hear is whack, 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 whack. No. It would be fun, but a lot of work. So I said to her, if you move out your own, trying to get your own house and all, you want to get a duck, you knock yourself out. So I'll be telling her you sent me that email today. Brilliant. I get Brooke a duck. Outstanding. Love it. Right, let's get into our email. Let's have a look here and see. Right, I've one here from Derek. Derek writes me the email. He is from, where's he from? Huddersfield. Derek from Huddersfield. Hello, Derek. How are you today? Thank you for your email. Happy Halloween. Says here, I've noticed you and Lewis work in local football and also travel to games over here in England as well. You've also said that your son Lewis has been doing photos and you do the videography and media work for a football club in Northern Ireland, which I think is great. I've checked out some of your content and absolutely love it. Well, thank you very much for that. Wanted to ask you a question. How long has Lewis been doing photography for? Keep up the good work. Well, funny you say that. Funny you say that there. Lewis started taking photos around about 2019, just before COVID. So about 4 years he's been taking photos now. He just came up to me one day and he says, Dad, can I take photographs of football? And I was like, I'll ask the club and see if it was okay with them. They were happy enough, so I got him his first wee camera to start him off with, and he loved it. And as time has went on, obviously he's got a bigger camera now, and he's got more better at it, and he's enjoying it more now. And he's also involved in the videography at the club as well, where he does the inside matchday videos with me as well, so he's loving it. About 4 years now he's been doing it for, and he absolutely loves it. So and his photographs are being shared everywhere, and he's happy, and you know, everything's all good. And he's well known across the Irish League because he's obviously a wee worker and he works hard, all this stuff. So yeah, about 4 years now. So, but thank you for your email and happy Halloween. Right, let's get into one more email here before I head down the road here, because I got to get this out today, because I got to go out and get stuff for tonight, because we're going to have like a wee tea for the family tonight. So let's see how we get on here now. Let's have a look here and see. Right, I've one here from Julia. Is it Julia? Julia, yes, on the emails. On the email, it says, Hi Matthew, I just wanted to send you a wee question for your podcast for this week. Well, first of all, I'd like to say Happy Halloween. Well, Happy Halloween to you too. Do you have any fond Halloween memories with your kids? I've been watching your YouTube channel for a couple of years now and thoroughly enjoy it. Also, what's this big announcement you keep talking about? Are you going to make this announcement this week or not? Only kidding. Keep up the great work, Julia. As I said at the start of this podcast, I will be making the big announcement. Don't you worry about that. It's been filmed and it's going to get put out. as said earlier on there about the Halloween memories and stuff for the kids. Got quite a lot of few of them. Just obviously, very good fun memories of the kids over the years and stuff. But a lot of photographs of their like wee Halloween outfits and all, and just when you look back at some of the memories, you say to yourself, "Where the hell did the time go with your kids? It just blew up so bloody quick." But anyway, yes, happy Halloween to yourself. Hope you have a great Halloween, and I hope you are keeping well. And thank you for supporting the Moore Army YouTube channel. It means a lot. Right, let's get into it. I'll tell you what, I'll do one more. I'll do one more email, and then I'll move on from there. Here we go. Right, let's refresh these bloody emails. My internet just seems to be running pretty slow today for some reason, even though I've got business broadband. BT, you'll be getting the phone call. So you will be. Right, let's have a look here and see. Right. One here from Laura. Yes, Laura. Laura, where are you from? Let's have a look at the email. Where are you from? Doesn't say. Anyway, hello Laura. How are you? Hi Matthew, how you doing? Just wanted to get your thoughts on the recent death of Matthew Perry. A lot of celebrities have died this past year, and it's been a very emotional year for a lot of people who have unfortunately lost a lot of loved ones, including a lot of big-time celebrities. What's your thoughts on this year alone of a lot of deaths that people have passed away? Okay, Laura. Talked about Matthew Perry at the start of this podcast. Obviously very, very sad. Yeah, there's been a lot of celebrity deaths over the last year or so, and I've seen a lot of people dying. A lot of people dying this last year or so. It's been really, really weird. So it has. But the Matthew Perry one's obviously been a big one. So it has a real, real big one. It's just so sad. So it is. But again, it's crazy. But then, I get questions all the time asking me, especially about this recent COVID stuff and all that there, about all the COVID inquiry, about people dying and all, and you wouldn't believe how many people actually die in the UK every day. On average, 1,500 people a day die in the UK. That's insane, 1,500 people. But then you think about it, for all the deaths that happen every day, there's always births. You know what I mean? It's so sad. Average of 1,500 people die a day in the UK. That's a lot of people. So it is, when you look at it, really. So, it's crazy. But thank you for your question. I do appreciate it. And yes, happy Halloween to yourself as well. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go here now. So, that's going to bring us to the end of this podcast. I'll be back on Thursday with a special podcast from Blackpool. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to get Lewis to come on for half an hour or two as well and have a wee arm with him on the podcast as well. Because we're going to this match tomorrow night, and then we're obviously going to spend the day in Blackpool. So maybe the podcast might drop a little bit later on Thursday. Because obviously we're going to spend a bit of time in Blackpool itself during the day. We're going to be doing some vlogs over there too as well. We're going to be doing a lot of great stuff over there. So stay tuned for that. So we've got some good vlogs coming up over the next few days, so stay tuned. Also, guys, if you want to get in touch with me, obviously you know how to do it by now, all the social media feeds and all that stuff. And if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you listen to us on today, subscribe, favourite it, the whole lot. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the great numbers as always for the downloads and streams. It means a lot to us. Check out the website, guys, for all the merchandise and all the bits and bobs to do with the Moore Army. It's moorearmy.co.uk. Don't forget to go there and check all that out. I would appreciate it. We've got our Christmas merchandise coming out here sometime early next week. So stay tuned for the Christmas merch coming out, because we've got Christmas jumpers, hoodies, and all that there coming out for the Christmas time. So if you want to get a Moore Army hoodie or Christmas time, stay tuned. It's coming. So yes, guys, thank you for all your support. I do appreciate it. I will be back, said to you, from Blackpool on Thursday. So I'm going to be bringing a microphone with me. I'm going to be sitting down with Lewis, even though he'll probably say, I don't want to go on the podcast. Come on for half an hour, you won't be shite. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, yes, guys, until Thursday, happy Halloween days all out there. Hope you all have a great night tonight, whatever you are doing, whether you're out there partying or whatever it is you're doing out there for Halloween. Be safe, most importantly. Even if you're around fireworks or anything like that there, please be safe. And let me know over the next couple of days how your Halloween went. I would appreciate to hear from all you all. It does mean a lot to me. So until Thursday, guys, enjoy your Halloween. And from a very quiet Moore household where there's no kids and there's no, it just doesn't even seem like Halloween. Just a normal from the Moore household. Until Thursday, guys, I will see you back here for another episode of the Moore Army podcast. Stay safe, and I'll see you all on Thursday. Thanks for listening.